So greetings everyone, we are here on my lovely real board yet again, and we are going over the people who you can clearly see in the top of the screen. Fujito Arena, who is black, versus Ueno Asami, who is in fact white. We have a 4-dan versus a 3-dan. Now that's weird. Why on earth am I going over a 4-dan and a 3-dan game? Aren't there many more amazing games that I could be going over? Technically, but wait, it gets better. This is not just any 4-dan versus 3-dan game, this is actually the 38th Japanese female Honinbo title match, number 2. It was played late October, on the 27th to be exact, and I confess these two particular players were not on my radar for a very long time. It's only because a certain person, good old Celeste, happened to request that I go over one of their games at one point, that I noticed that their games... Now hear me out. A game between two professionals can be good. Huh. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Turns out, yes. They can be good indeed. I kind of like their matchup. This one I've picked for a very good reason. I'm probably going to tell you that reason because it's probably going to make it into its title. At some point, there's going to be some crazy middle shenanigans going on. That's why I picked this game. It's very interesting. A lot of us would probably wind up in similar positions at some point in our games. And I think this will provide a very good lesson as to how to deal with it. That was suitably vague. All right, let's continue. So, we have here a lovely 4-4 points taken by black. The question, of course, now is what kind of player is good old Asami? Is she going to play the upper left-hand corner, allowing their opponent to potentially go into a diagonal Fuseki, inviting all the things because they're fearless? Alas, no. Instead, white takes this corner, not allowing black to potentially take it for a diagonal Fuseki. To be fair, I don't really remember the last time I've seen a diagonal Fuseki. So, I mean, that's a thing. But, alright. Interesting to note, but not the end of the world. Black takes 2 4-4 points. White takes 3-4. So this says we might be into influence, but the 4-4s can be flexible, right? Like they can still enclose for territory. It's just there are ways to kind of contest that territory later. It's not like a 3-4 stone where there's very few ways, if any, to ever really contest the territory here later on in the game. So it can be territorial. There's usually a bit of influence. 4-4 and 3-4 usually say, you know what, we could do either or. A 3-4 stone can easily transition to an influential game. A 4-4 can go into a territorial game, vice versa. So, no huge statements being made yet until this next move, where black decides to approach the 4-4, not the 3-4. That right there is an interesting statement. And now white has a decision to make. Because allowing a double approach here is kind of like the in thing to do right now. So it wouldn't surprise me to see like a 3-3 point being played and ignoring the approach, especially in professional games. White encloses. Now it's time for black to decide, do we go all in on the double approach, or do we block the extension from the enclosure. Both are fine. I will say that if you are in camp double approach, you need to know the double approach Joseki fairly well. Because I have seen, believe it or not, RS Shield, thank you for the 5-month resub. I have seen people send in games to me to review where they double approached and then didn't know what to do. Or they allowed the double approach and didn't know what to do. And that can be dangerous. That can be dangerous. If like you're ignoring the approach and you don't have any idea what Joseki is, if they double or if you double, then you might want to go away. Alerts are silent. Oh, sorry. You're right, I was muted on that one. My bad. No, no. So yeah, Black Cloud's double approach, because she knows all the Joseki. Nothing to fear here. Once upon a time, this would be played without even thinking about it. Now it's regarded as a little bit slow. So we usually pick a direction to attach to. Here we're going to attach to this one. Why? Well, a couple of reasons. When we attach, we can usually be assured of a Hane. Like so. Even if you don't intend to save these 2 stones, you don't really lose anything by playing an extra move here. Because you could still, as black, go into the corner and then watch white separate you, and then white will need another move to take out your stones, right? So, reasonable investment. In exchange for 2, if you go into the 3-3, you can still give up these 2, and you'll probably keep Sente out of the deal, which is cool. I do want to point out, because I think I pointed this out in one of the last games I've gone over, if you are in this situation and your opponent goes into the 3-3, we do not block here anymore. Some people, and now I'm talking to you people who exclusively play on KGS, tend to block this way still, but it's no longer really regarded as a good thing to do. Whoops. And the reason for that is quite simple. You're giving away your entire corner, and black is not even surrounded, in exchange for a wall to what? There's nothing over here, right? So a lot of territory gone, in exchange for influence we don't know how to use yet. The only way this would be a good thing is if maybe we already had something like this on the board, right? And we really were able to build up, and we knew that this wall was immediately being used by like this stone. Short of that, you don't want to do it. But I hop in and out of games occasionally on various servers at various ranks, just to get ideas on what people are playing, so I can like think about putting that into my like basic series and whatnot. And I do still see a lot of the block here into the wrong direction, so be careful about that. They're giving away points and you're not even sure why. It's okay. That said, black plays here. White has a decision to make. Could go here, but not so much. Not really gonna do that now. Gonna play here. Many choices. Black could play here at the Tiger Mouth. This is more normal. This one is probably technically possible, but I haven't seen it in ages. So we're gonna go ahead and play that one. Now, you could play here, but bear in mind, this is Sente for black, so black could, if she so felt inclined, play over here. And the reason for that is even if we play a move like this to pincer, this group can still get out or make a base. It's still going to be fine. So we don't necessarily get to use this wall, even if we connect solidly here. So some people are trying to play faster moves, such as the attachment. And see what the opponent does then. Black decides. Cut through. There's cutting points there, makes sense, right? So, okay. Okay. White connects nice and solidly, as you see here. Now, we're not going to cut through and try and do any kind of weird Atari shenanigans, because that's just going to create a lot of bad Aji. Instead, we have the Hane here, which is threatening this follow-up to try to connect up the stones. So, we do not want that follow-up to be occurring, do we? No, we do not. So we will, in fact, take that one for ourselves. Now, you might say, but can't Black Atari this stone? And you are right. Black will Atari the stone. Two things to note here. One, not necessarily Sente. And two, even if we respond here, note that stone's not alive until we connect. And if we get to take this stone, we're threatening to take this stone later on. So it's not the end of the world, right? Not the end of the world. And if Black connects, then White just got influence, or got Sente, sorry, right? So this is actual game. And now I want to draw your attention to White's next move. Where would you want to play White's next move? Where would you want to play White's next move? You could play anywhere on the board. Anywhere on the board. Where would you want to play right now? Anywhere you want. Where would you want to play? Any suggestions? O17. Anybody else want to play an O17? K4 or N17? Interesting. Lot of interesting suggestions here. And I'm very sad that none of you said the 3-3. I tried really, really hard to get someone to say the 3-3. 3-3 has to be bat bait. Yeah. I tried really hard, but you're right. You would not 3-3 in this instance. There's no reason. If you 3-3'd here, you're probably gonna play something like this one, right? Whoops. And then very likely going to, whoops. I'm doing very well today. And very likely going to never be able to use that influence ever again, right? So I'm glad someone finally said the 3-3, since we see it so often nowadays. But that's why we probably would not want to play 3-3 right now, because we're more interested in using the influence than giving away influence and then never being able to use it ever again. So, cool. That said, someone's probably following along with the AI, and they're probably going to say, oh no, they suggested the 3-3 here. Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it. So instead of that, I think someone did get it. Which one who said it? Someone said J17, I think, right? Yeah, Dragonian Fly did. Anybody else? No. Cool. Yeah. There's a proverb here to find this move, believe it or not. If Black wanted another move here, Black would probably go for a 2-space extension, right? Because we can begin getting a base pretty easily, yeah? So, White said, you never get to do that. Now here's the thing. More than just proverbs, This also makes sense mathematically. Not that I ever count. But if we think that white or black just got 2, 4, 6, 8, let's go and call it 10 points. 9, 10 points, somewhere. 10 points. Just got 10 points. If white can get 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, we're still making more here, especially with Comey, right? We still got the better end of this result. We're still fine territorially. We also have an enclosure to fall back on for more points. There's a huge move on top of the board that we can grab for ourselves. The corners are all still open. So we're good. We're good. So all right. We've got that. By the way, Lizzie doesn't suggest the 3-3. No. Did Lizzie suggest J17? Now I'm curious. Lost Jack. Only extensions on the bottom side. Wowzers. All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. I was wrong. But all right, so black's move now. There are a couple of options you can play. You could take an extension or an enclosure on the bottom of the board, but that'd be Gote. You could block the extension. That would be old school and fine. I think this is a fine move, personally. But the attachments have become very, very popular nowadays. We can blame computers for this one too. So we're going to start a mess in this corner. That's our way of dealing with it. White Hane is outside. Interesting. Not the Hane inside. You Hane inside, you're on the third line. Black gets a wall here, which can be good for the corner. So we go into the corner, and the white says, "What are you doing?" Atari. Getting a little complicated. Black extends. White extends as well. Now we have to Atari. And same. And by same, I mean we extend again. And now this, yeah, it is long and strange, and I don't like it. I've never seen this and thought to myself, you know what? I can't wait to play this in my games. You know? Maybe one of you will think differently. Let me know while we're going through this if any of you are like, yeah, dude, I'm totally I'm playing this in my next game. For black. I like this. It's great. So we Atari. The ladder isn't, so we extend. And we can't get rid of those 2 stones, so we extend. Like so. And now we don't want to be like having this connect and then attacking the 2 stones. So we Atari again. We can Hane here because the Atari goes into an Atari. So we're good there. And then, right, Hane. So we go in turn. And note, we are not going to Atari. That's greedy because it leaves moves here and here still open. It leaves more forcing moves here. So we're just going to go ahead and take. You. And then we're going to go back and double Hane. Because now we're threatening a capture on the 3 stones. White plays the Atari. Black connects. We cannot Atari here. Otherwise, white Ataris. Black takes. And then white Ataris again. Right? And then our 3 stones are dead. So we can't do that. So we do this one instead. Okay, we finally got the end of the sequence. So I really don't like this for black. It's pretty much a long sequence. We've got something we can do later with the Atari, maybe? But now we have a ladder here that we've got to make sure is constantly ours. Isn't white a bit big? Yeah. To be fair, this was white's corner, right? This did start off as white's corner, so it makes sense that white has more here. So in that respect, you could say, oh yeah, this was all white's territory anyway, but now we're getting influence, so I mean, we got something for her keeping what she already had. So it's fine, but still not my cup of tea. I'd rather just play here and play simple. Because you can see this attachment Jiseki took up what? This much of the board? Kinda crazy. White approaches. Black has to reread. Mew 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 constantly. So now, not only did white keep what white had, but white then got a free move because of the ladder. So that's a thing. Now black has to try to do something about all of this, combined with all of that, and that the corner's now gone, right? So black says, how goes it? And we could be tempted here to clamp. We could be tempted to clamp and just keep what we have. However, you can see a problem arising very rapidly here, right? You can see there is problem. We are going to be forced to kill this, while at best we can do, at best, even if these stay dead, what black can force us to go back and kill this and get more influence by wrapping around it. So that's the best white can do here. So we're not going to do that. Instead, white plays the Hane because read out the clamp and realized, okay, that clamp is scary. I ain't doing that. Black's trying to leave. White says, no. You will not make me weak, ma'am. Another weird decision by black. Oh man. But blocking this way clearly gets us nothing, so it makes sense to block this way instead, despite the fact that nothing's over here. So, okay. Okay, you can see how you arrive at that decision. If we block and get influence here, no clue what it's going to do for us. So we're going to block this way instead, because this is the only way that's open, right? Only way that's open. This is where the potential lies. So, okay. And there we go. And we're going to extend. And we're going to connect. Coolios. At this point, we have to extend. Now, some of you might be looking at this extension, and you might want to play here. However, there's a problem with this one. This is a 3-stone wall, and from 3 stones, you want to extend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's too far, isn't it? Because usually it's size of wall plus 1, not size of wall plus whatever you want, really. So we can't extend this far. This is an overextension. And then white would just come back here with like any move possible because you're overextended and then you're going to be under attack. So instead of this one, she goes and extends here. Not too far, not too close. Now, I think this is one of those times where you could ask for the next move, because white has Sente, this sequence is done with now. So what's big? What should we be thinking about right now? What should we be thinking about? Also, remember, I spoiled part of this game. I said that white was going to get into a position that we would all get into. And would make us all feel uncomfortable. That's going to happen. That's coming up. But so far, this board looks pretty good, don't it? For white, I think it looks pretty good. But white's still going to get into a weird position. It's going to make us all feel uncomfortable. Oh, 03? Sorry. 03, 03, 03. Ah, you want to go on the outside. Now, the outside approach is okay. But let's think about what black wants to do. Do you think black would like to enclose? I think black would like to enclose because I think black would like to develop this area, right? Black would like to develop this area, and white would like to develop this area, if at all possible. But here's the thing. Just because you want this and they want this doesn't mean you have to approach here. Because this, yeah, you might get this and you force them to have that. Interesting. But here's the thing. If you approach on the inside like so, when you know they want this, there's a very, very good chance you can count on a pincer. And if you are pincered, you are still giving them this side. You could get to change directions, but you left a stone behind in the area that you already knew they were going to try and develop. Does that make sense? So instead of here, white approaches on the outside. Black pincers because black wants that area. And then we leave. Now, normally I would go here or maybe like here or here. We see a very unusual move here instead. And that's this one. This one's very unusual. Yeah, nothing comes to mind in terms of games where I've seen the 2-space approach lately. You know? Very rare. So black says, this area is mine. And white's just like, okay. Because we know we're going to be blocked this way, right? So, block like so. Extensión. And connect. And Hane. That is answered. Otherwise, you can actually just flat out cut and create complications. And defend. Because we have our own cut point to worry about. At that point, white gets to extend. Threatening to Hane at the head of 2 stones. Good and proverbial. So we're going to respond and not let that happen. Some people would be very, very aggressive here. I know some of you are guilty of it too. Don't even try to claim you're not. And you'd be like, oh no, white is developing too much. I need to stop all of that immediately. But this is not your friend. Like, you're doing way more damage to yourself by freaking out and allowing this kind of thing than if you just prevented it for like one more move and then worried about whatever you were worried about. You know? So let's go ahead and kill that. This would suck a lot. So, we jump out. Now there's no Haunted out of 2 stones, right? Wrong. Sorry. Still is. Which is weird, because it makes me wonder, like, why not just here and have done with it? I don't know. Whatever. Hane. Tari. Connect. And connect. Cool. Also, if you count the potential, black with a wall almost equals the amount of points white gets on top of the right side, so it's not panic time. True. Yeah. A lot of people also tend to underestimate their own points. There's a lot of potential here. There's no reason to freak out over there. Like right now, we're on, what is this, 4, 5, 6 line right now? 4, 5, 6 line? I mean, that seems fine, right? They're not getting any more or less than you have. So why panic? In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines of potential 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, potentially, if you get this instead. So while they're working on this, you could easily work on this. And keep in mind, you also have this to back you up. So it's not panic mode. But if you went into panic mode, you'd pretty much kiss all of your potential here goodbye, and then you'd be screwed. So, there you go. That would go down a very, very fast losing game. White's next move is amazing. You know what? Let's see if you can guess it. If you guess White's next move, you're a Dawn player. There is a Dawn inside you. I know they're there. If you know the next move, there is a Dawn player inside you. E13. E13. What's E13? E13. Interesting choice. Any other suggestions? All the 3-point. Wait, what? Played, so it's limit. Oh, yeah. No options. No options for 3-3. Well, hey, wait. No, technically. Yeah, you're right. Technically, that's a 3-point. Yeah, you're right. All of them are there. K10. No. Still on board with N15. What's N15? N15. Not a bad move. Not seeing the right move, though. If you can play that, you're a Dawn player. Because imagine that for black. It kind of hurts your build, right? How are you going to actually try to grow anywhere near that 6th line with this on the board? Like, the most you can do is like the 4th, right? At best. So you're like 6v4. So that move is nice and patient. Hirahi thought of it? Okay. N15 is Lizzie's move. Well, I don't care about Lizzie's move. This is nice, patient, and I would even say basic. Thanks for the follow. Their ID JJH. But yeah, this is nice and basic and patient, and if you can find it, you are on the road to being a good player. Unless you only wanted to do it to kill 1 stone, in which case you're on the way to being a 20Q player. But if you could identify it for the right reasons, you're doing good. You're doing good. Black goes and plays the move everybody wanted to play, to enlarge. And White's like, I'm fine. You can grow, I can grow, we can grow together. I'm fine with it. No shame in her game. Grow. Grow. Whatever. It's whatever. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? And Black says, yeah, Black says, that Black says that she don't have time for this crap. Just new. To be fair, we understand why. She's threatening 8th line. Right? Take this move away and put something in here. That's really, really big. Look how huge that is. Or you might even be able to shoulder hit here first and get a commitment before doing it, though this is highly unlikely. That's amateur greed garbage. But they'd probably fall for it at our level. Just saying. Just saying. So we got that one in. And again, with the patient play. A lot of players now would be tempted to go and just try to kill that invasion. How dare she invade my board? But then if they come out and then also get to come in, and this doesn't turn into territory, you lost the game. You just lost the game. So, White keeps White's territory. White is not losing the game right now. White is just like, you know what? I ain't doing it. I'm keeping my points. Because if you get to go in there, I'm a dead woman. Also, this is not inherently alive right now. You could still come out and attack this. Black owes you a move. Black owes you a move. It's just the move that Black decides that they owe is throwing down the gauntlet. It's like, I'm going after 7th line. What are you gonna do? So, okay. Now, if we were to keep playing around here, it's a good chance we lose the game. Black really wants us to struggle against this group, and Black really wants us to try to kill one stone. Because then Black can just sacrifice it, or just respond and get stronger, while White's not really getting anything in exchange. Does that make sense? Because, like, imagine right now, I don't know. Imagine we went after this one stone. And Black allowed us to kill that one stone. Obviously, there's an extension here for White. Then Black just grew. So you have to really, really be careful on going after like a single stone like that. Like one little sacrifice of it, and suddenly this is out to the 10th line. That's an ouch. That is an ouch. So we're not doing that one, right? Not doing that one. Instead, we're going to find something else to go over. Something else that is weak on this board. And what is something else that is weak on this board? Yoink. We have found something else that has not saved itself in a very, 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 very long time. So, we can come up from here, threaten to kill off the stones, and get a new invasion point into what we're looking at. So it's doing two things. Attacking and poking. Much better than trying to kill the one stone, and much better than randomly leaning against this outer marker. Black says, I'm not letting my stones die. And White says, funny, I don't think I asked your opinion on that matter. Truthfully though, I doubt White expects to kill these stones. Highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. Chances are, all White wants to do right now is just run this thing into her own influence. Easiest way to reduce any kind of framework ever is find a weak group and run it on home. Follow it. Congratulations, you got stones right where you wanted them. Atari. And Atari. And take. And Atari. And Hane. Keeping this area low. Very nice, very nice. Many likes, many likes. That part about Samai is horrible, the rest is good. What? Oh, you're talking about a book? I'm not good with very many Go books. That weren't really my thing. So I have no opinions on really. Connection's nice. Doesn't give Aji behind. If we like Hane, for example, then there's an Atari that's left behind. So that's forcing. Tiger Mouth's good. We're threatening to come on down. Black says you cannot Hane. Because that would be amazing. If we got like this Hane in. Like if you can imagine that Hane in right there. I could probably get away with one more Hane, right? Because the Hane there kind of is very, very painful. So if we can imagine the Hane there, then suddenly this takes on a very different turn. Maybe an attachment even. Into coming out. And suddenly the entire dynamic of this game has just reversed itself. If that Hane is allowed to take place. Isn't it crazy how fast the game can completely change based on like one little slow move or not adhering to one little proverb about the Hane at the head of 2 and 3 stones and whatnot? Suddenly your opponent drives you right where you didn't want to go because you didn't want to play one move in Gote to prevent that Hane, right? In this case, if you play somewhere else, because you don't want that Hane to take place, a wall forms here, White comes on down. Ah, so huge. So huge. Huge, 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 huge. But Black is pro, does not allow it. And White pokey pokey pokes. Pokey pokey. Now, at this point, you're probably wondering where on earth that problem was that you mentioned in the beginning of the game. That you assured everybody that White was in fact going to be in a position no one would like. Was I lying to you? Was that a scam? Was that clickbait? Was the title of this video, that I have not technically written yet, actually clickbait? Had to have been clickbait. Had to have been. White defends. Black attaches because there's a Hane here. Nah, I don't clickbait. Backs off. Now, if you were going to try to win this game as black, boldly, mind you, put on your bold pants, what would you do? What would you do? We're going to win this game boldly. How are we going to do it? K14. That's not bold. That's not bold. K14 is not bold. We can be much bolder than that. We are going to be the boldest players in the history of ever. Be bold. Be greedy. L12. We can be bolder than that. E12. Where are my greedy people at? You're letting me down. No. That right there is bold. It's like, hey, do you like your territory? And White's like, yes, I love my territory. And Black's like, are you sure you like your territory? And White's like, yes, I am absolutely certain that I like my territory. And Black says, I dare you to keep it. I dare you to keep it. And White says, then I will keep it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now that right there is bold. This move just said you have to connect in Gote, at which point I'm going to keep developing and you've just lost the game. That is a bold plan, if I have ever seen one. That's bold right there. That is bold. That is bold. So what's White gonna do? White can't let this happen. White can't let this grow. So White says, not that. So White says, I'm coming in. I'm coming in. And now we don't cut too soon because there's shape here. So we take the shape away, threatening to cut through again. Black just says, look, you can connect up. I don't have to try to kill you. We can be peaceful. Just you connect and I'll connect. And it will all be glorious. But White says, no. You cannot do such things. I will not let you. So now you know it's real. Forcing move. All we're doing is separating. And then we're cut. Okay, everybody. How do we not die here? How are we not going to die here? This is rather important. How are we not dying here? We're cut off in the middle of the board. We need 2 eyes. I'm going to give you a spoiler. You can't just run. You can't just run. So what are we going to do? Resign quickly? Could. I feel like Black was in a good position and didn't need to go for this. That's one of the great things about U.S Go, man. That's like the one thing that is always missing whenever I look at bots playing. Because yeah, they never like really go for anything. They don't really need to, but humans are ambitious, man. Humans are ambitious. They're bold. They have feeling. They're not just like toasters. So alright. Yeah, Black went bold. Black went bold. Unless they're Lee Cheng-ho? No. Lee Cheng-ho's been stabbing too, man. He's changed. He stepped down off that throne and began shanking fools. So first thing we need to do is start to create eye shape. This begins to create eye shape. We don't Hane because that creates cutting points, creates Aji, creates life for our opponent. That would be bad. Follows because there's eye shape here now and eye shape here. There are 2 things of eye shape. Black says, no, you do not connect to anything, thank you. White says, do you mind if I play here and kill your middle stones? That makes my life a lot easier. Oh my god, that makes my life. No, I can't play it? Okay, never mind then. Guess we're gonna keep stabbing each other. Going for shape again, because now we've got shape here, potential table, potential eye, and then there's still this one. Look how the shape is just, it's just all over the place. All over the place. Stands up. And white goes table. So many people would be uncomfortable, but look how casually she's just going for shape over and over again. So nice. Nice and relaxed. Has to play here, otherwise it's like 2 eyes immediately. But that means someone's getting cut off. Someone's getting cut off. Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. This position is getting more complicated. And now we have that moment again, kind of like where Shabana was in that game I uploaded. I forgot what I called the video itself. It was something like murdering Shabana is not wise, I think it was. Where here we have Black trying to murder White. Didn't have to really be that way, right? She chose to cut. She chose to cut. So, alright. Poking at the eye shape. It's Sente. And then connects. Can't let white get this move, otherwise the stones here are dead, right? So we can't let white get that. But that is quite clearly a threat for an eye. Which, again, she's going after to try to kill her. At this point, though, I'm not sure I can blame her because white's been spiraling in all over the place, right? So we take, and then we have to Atari, like so. Whoops. All right. Another group has now been brought into the conversation. At this point, we know that white's going to live. Like when you're in this position as black, you know that's alive. And that's terrifying. Because now you're just watching the territory that you had just start slipping away. Draw back. Looking for eye shape and poking. Black counter pokes. And connects. And connects. Immediate threat to kill a stone. White or black says no. You are not going to do it. I'm not going to let you. You cut me, I kill you. White turns. Now we have to get in some funky reading. Black moves to kill. And white connects. And then moves to kill by cutting off. Dun dun dun. White plays the Hane to get rid of that cutting point. Black connects. And then throws in. Now it's getting very, very uncomfortable. It's kind of crazy. Black has to draw back. White plays the Hane on the inside. Great way to remove liberties. Black plays the Atari. White gets to connect. Black has to connect. White again threatens. I get more stones. No choice but to cut through. It makes you wonder, when White began all of this, how far out did she actually read it? So I'm pretty sure you would have lost me 20 moves ago. Threat to kill. And the threat to kill here is important because if we play here, you're threatening to capture a dead shape in Gote, right? That's kind of not comfortable, as they say. And then from here, you've got like this one, because the poke here is pretty huge. And then even then there's the Hane. It's kind of tough to, you know, not be dead. So instead of playing here, we play here, just capture the outside, we're fine. But that allows white to connect on up. Black drops on down, prevent the connection. And then white extends. Now the problem with the white extension is white now has an eye. This group doesn't have one. This might have an eye, but it's got a ton of liberties. It might as well. It doesn't really matter at this point. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Verse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8, 9, and way more than 6 here. So this group is just dead. This group is dead from this being cut off. It's crazy. Like, she knew where to go to find forcing moves. First, she found him here against this group, forcing black to have to play here to connect up. Then she saw the connection here, which forced the connection up again. So this is Sente for white. This move is Sente for white. So it's 2 moves on the inside that she got for free because white couldn't lose this group or this group. And then with that Sente, we were able to apply pressure on this group. And just trying to keep fighting the eye shape is just not going to happen. There's just too much. Too much. Anywho, I don't know. Either way, I love this Bregan game. White got cut off and showed everyone exactly how to handle it. Look for things that are weak, look for the things that are weak. Let your opponent keep giving you Sente by trying to kill you. Ah, so brilliant. So brilliant. I love. And I hope you all love this game too.